Hello, viewers. My guest today is a wonderful girl. I love this girl intentionally. A very calm, calculative, intelligent, and most of all, very powerful in her own way. She is a girl who literally changed my life. And if I tell you this girl is my best friend, I won't be lying. I know most of you know her and you have fallen in love with her through your data over the years, and you have been so surprised how far she's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Feiza.
Hello.
How,
I'm so happy to be here.
how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm okay. Um, this is going to be a very unfiltered conversation.
Yes.
So you have to be very free. Don't be worried or anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So somebody out there who has never seen you would love to know what are your full names.
My full names. My full name is Feiza and Simbi Hassan.
Wow, amazing. So I'm so sure as you grow up, you understood where your names come from.
Yes.
So where does the name Faiza come from?
Uh, that comes from my late grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, her name was Feiza.
Mm.
Her name was Feiza Khalid Muksin. I really love her and adore her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
May her soul rest in peace. And the name Simbe?
In Simbe,
Mm.
it comes from my clan.
Yes, your clan.
Yes, my clan.
And her son?
My dad.
Yeah. Let's just start exactly from there, Faiza.
Yes.
Most of you have seen you on social media in real life, and they have assumed that you actually look exactly like me. What do you comment about that?
I don't really think so. In my opinion, I just have the same face structure and smile. That's pretty much it.
Mm.
That's it. But when someone smiles,
Mm.
and when someone is with someone for so long,
Mm.
they start looking almost the same.
The same, yeah,
Yes.
right. So it reminded me on the first day I heard you, that was at Mulago Hospital in Kampala. For those who know it, they know it is one of the most biggest hospital in Kampala. And before I heard you, I literally moved in 5 hospitals.
Yes.
I'm sorry, 3 hospitals. And it took me 5 days to have you. I started my pain from Friday until Monday. And the moment you came in my hands, the first thing I saw was your nose. And it was exactly like your father. And I was like, okay, no DNA needed.
Mother's genes didn't even try.
They didn't even try. So, Faiza, how is your relationship between you and your father?
It's really good, by the way. Even though he's not in the UAE right now, we're still talking a lot, and we talk online a lot, and we also video call. Yeah.
Pretty good. And how is also your relationship on your father's side, like your aunties and your family?
It's really good. It's actually the best. I think every chance I get, I would go back to my home country and visit my grandma every single second.
Let's talk about your grandma. An amazing woman I met. Yeah, I think I have met her many times. But most important is the day I met her when I just gave birth to you. And she is so adorable. How do you find her?
I find her very calm, understanding, and exciting person. She understands things. She spoils me super much.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Every time I ask her for something, she always finds a way to give it to me. She sacrifices so much for me as well. She's really an amazing person. Yes, and her food is amazing.
Wow, more than mine? Wow, that's a blow, Jaja. I believe like among the people I have been with so much, there is one particular person that loves you more than you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
Hmm, that would be my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like
No, apart from your dad, apart from
apart
your
from
daddy and your mom, who
apart
is
from
that person who loves you so much?
oh, Aunt Ramla.
Aunt Ramla, yes. How is your relationship with Aunt
Oh
Ramla?
my god,
And
it's really good. She knows me so well.
mm,
We're like the same person,
mm.
just in different bodies.
And I always say this like Uninga Singa, or,
Yes.
it reminds me when I first met Ramla, and she was so funny. She was a young girl, but then she was at school and everything, and then she commented about my legs.
Oh, you never got over it.
Never. I'll never forget that. Like, I'll never forget that. But along the way, we've had our misunderstandings. But what I love most about her is the true and genuine love for you. And to me, any person who loves you automatically shares a space in my heart. Because to me, you are the most special thing I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Feiza,
Yes.
I have so much questions to ask you. Like, I'm so excited. How do you find my relationship with you?
It's actually it's really good.
Mm,
Sometimes we can have little bit of misunderstandings, but to have a healthy relationship, you have to understand each other well.
mm,
Uh, we've built it along the way, and you know what they say: a mother's and daughter's bond can't be broken.
mm,
Yeah. So it's a really good relationship,
mm,
and no matter how much we fight, even like after like an hour maybe,
mm.
we just come and we laugh at silly stuff, you know.
You told me something a few days ago,
Oh my god.
and it's really broke me. You say like there are times, Mom, you really make me angry. I feel like I wanna hate you. I was like, wow, girl, hate is such a big word.
I didn't say I want to hate you.
Mm.
I said that sometimes you make me feel like super like, let's say frustrated.
Mm.
That I'm like, oh, I hate you, but I don't actually mean it.
Mm, that's okay. Um, it actually happens to every person. At a point in life, I felt like maybe my mother never loved me. I was the firstborn, and you know that. Like, I was the firstborn of four, and everything that would happen at home, it would be on my head, like literally.
Yeah.
I still remember until today when my mom came home. The charcoal stove. So back in Uganda, we put some like the kavera. Kavera,
Yeah.
like a
Plastic bag.
plastic bag. Then we put some. Then you lit it, and then
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
So
would watch
my
that.
mom had gone with Safa, my little sister, the little babe. She was a baby by then. I think approximately like 4 months. I raised for Safa. I used to plait her hair. That's why you see me and Safa have the most strongest bond. So as I was slitting, remember my mom had left me home to cook, and then it was Mamito who was supposed to cook, but then she didn't do it on time. So I was outside because I had told Mamito to cook, and then she was just disturbing me. So I went and did it. So as I was doing it, my mom comes from nowhere. You don't want to know what she did to me.
What did she
Oh my God. She took the charcoal stove, threw all the charcoal down, and poured water. She took her child and said, hello, up to you. You guys are going to stay hungry. And that's the kind of person, it was. So my mom was a very nice human being. So calm, so lovely, amazing person. But again, there was that daughter, daughter mother, kind of thing. Unfortunately, with our African culture today, when your mother corrects you to the right thing and the people around hear it, they take it in another way. They feel that your mother never loved you. And that is one thing I actually had to overcome over the years, because it's something that people would remind me. You understand what I'm saying? And when I was growing up, I said, when I become a mother, okay, I'll make sure nobody treats my child in a different way. I'll paint the best picture about my child. But when it comes to my home, I will give her all the chivocos. So that nobody stands out there and say, my child is a bad child. Just there about a relationship between me and you, okay? One of these days, I saw a very, very traumatizing podcast, or let's say a story about a young man. And it really awakened me. You know, I stayed the whole night, I didn't sleep. I think I slept like around 4 a.m. This young man was talking about how he was molested with his brother.
Before we continue, can you give me the definition of molested?
Okay. Abused.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and I was like, the parents, you know, like the parents, where did they actually go wrong? I'm not blaming them, you know. As a parent myself, I've seen a lot of mistakes that I've done, you know. And every day I learn to become a better one, you understand? So it brings me back to the story about my relationship between me and you, the bond we've created, you understand? Where we can speak things easily, you know, where you can tell me what hurts you, who is doing this to you, you understand? Do you feel like I am actually doing enough of that?
Um. Yes, obviously.
Mm.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you feel I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you feel I get all the things that are paining you, or there's some things you're always hiding that I don't know?
I don't hide them. I just don't talk about them.
You don't talk about them.
I just keep quiet and.
So, what you want to tell me today is that there are things that I still don't know about you.
Yes, obviously,
Mm.
because even like sometimes they're just things that I don't know how to explain, or I'm just too afraid to bring up.
Why?
I don't know.
Anyway, conversation for another day. So, let's talk about your colors. What are your best colors?
My favorite colors,
Mm-hmm.
definitely purple and green.
Purple and green. Okay, that's nice.
What about you?
Me, white and pink. Yeah, I love to be pink. You know, when I was growing up, I had this idea that one day when I get married, I'll wear a pink gown.
Aww.
Go. So, Feiza, let's now navigate through your life. A child being raised by my auntie Haida back home with my other two cousins, Felix and Knut. And then all of a sudden, the transitions of you coming to the UAE. What do you remember about your journey to the UAE?
I remember a lot, but like the early time before when I was like in Aunt Haida's house, it was really nice. Like I would go back, like if someone offered me to go back there for like a day and live the same life, I would, because it was funny, it was amazing. Like she was a very nice and like disciplined person. Felix and Knut were, I don't even like calling them uncle because I see them like my brothers as well.
Yeah.
They showered me with love every single time.
Yeah.
Literally the best two people. If like those were like, if I couldn't call you or Aunt Ramla, I would call them because I love them so much.
I do love them so much.
Yes.
They are so amazing, and it gives you the character of discipline that Aunt Haida really. And to me, Aunt Haida is like more than an auntie. Like I feel we're so connected in different ways. So now, do you remember you traveling to the UAE?
I remember it. I remember it as clear as day. I remember it as if it was just yesterday.
Okay, tell me.
We had arrived, and I think Aunt Haida was the one taking me. And then we had arrived, and then the flight attendant came, and she took me from her, and we went on the plane. I was sitting next to a girl around, I would say 13, 14.
Yes.
And I was talking to her the whole time. And then she went off the plane earlier. I'm pretty sure it was like, and then after that I went into like another area and I was sleeping there. There was no one there. I don't even know what, I think it was like business class. I went there and I was sleeping there. Then we came and it was UAE and I saw your face and I swear if I was a lighter skin tone, I would have been blushing so hard because that day I was so excited. I ran. I ran from the flight attendant, and I ran to you and I hugged you, like.
And your dad was there.
Yes, I remember my dad was there.
Yeah.
I hugged you and I was like, oh my god. I remember when I went to the elevator, my stomach dropped down. It was like.
You were so excited.
Everything was happening for the first time. Time was moving slow and. I saw the streets, I saw the buildings, I saw everywhere, and it made me feel so like, oh my god.
And it was my best day in life. It was a few days to my birthday, if you remember.
Yes, I remember. I think it was around like the last few days of September.
No, it was around 20. It was around like 16 of September.
Yeah, so I had remembered because like my birthday was a few days before.
Yeah.
So I remember it was about to be your birthday.
Yes.
So I was like, I felt like I was your birthday surprise.
Yes, it was my birthday surprise. I wanted to give myself a gift that, and the only gift that would have made me more happy, not a Range Rover, it was you because trust me, my heart was never at peace knowing you are living in another world. I left you at 8 months old. But then I used to come and see you. I remember this particular time I came to Uganda and they told me that you can't stop using the pacifier. I threw it away. So I that day was so happy and your father was there.
Yes.
And then we went, and life started.
Yes, I remember the first time we arrived at Sahara, was it Sahara 1 or Sahara 5? So, and that day, I had a balloon and I accidentally let go of it. It went all the way up. And then we got the balloon later. I still remember that day because it was such like every other like early day from when I was 6 years old, I've forgotten it. But this specific memory, I keep on remembering like in my heart every single time. Because every time I look at an old photo of myself or when I had like barely any teeth here,
yes,
I'm like,
we used to call you Mapengo.
Yes. What was my diet back then? What was my diet back then? Just candy.
Yes, and then I had to stop all that. Those are the things I had to polish over you. You never knew how to bathe yourself. I had to change that. You never knew how to brush yourself. So I would leave you to do it by yourself. Because obviously I was going to work. But then we shared we were staying in a shared apartment.
Yes, so we used to sleep together, yeah?
Yeah, on the same bed. It was staying in a one room, and I was working at Desk Travels and Tours.
Yes, I remember. And every time you'd leave for work, I'll be like, oh, I miss my mom. And I'll just be on my iPad.
Yes. And then the journey transformation to school.
The first day of school, I don't remember if it was online. I think it was online before it went offline because I don't really know what's happening.
No, first of all, the idea was for you to go back home. But then I lost my job at Dusk. And then I thought about it. And at that time, I was doing that. I had to do a license, and then I changed my visa. And then I changed your visa into my visa. And then, because I think you went to school before I was still in Dusk.
Yeah.
Yes, I was still in Dusk. But the idea it was for you to go back. But then I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Let me take the risk. Yeah.
Yes.
So you went to Woodland Park, Dubai. And then the visa saga came in. Your visa couldn't be done. Remember?
Yes,
then they stopped you from school because you didn't have a resident visa. So again, we had to wait for I think 4 or 5 months before visas were okay. President Museveni came to the UAE and then visas were okay. But before that, we actually got special permission to do your visa. Yeah. So Um, life at school.
The first days of school,
Mm.
I didn't know how to read properly.
Mm.
The teacher was like, "Okay, Feiza, come read this for me,"
Mm.
and I was like, "Miss, I don't know how to read." I felt so embarrassed and flushed. But the best thing about the students here,
Mm.
they're very compassionate and they have so much empathy.
Mm.
A student stood up, and she was like, "It's okay, I'll help you."
Mm.
And the whole day, that day, I had become friends with her,
Mm.
and I can't forget that girl. Her name was Liana.
Mm.
She was the best. She's the best person that I've ever met.
Mm.
Yeah, she was the kindest person ever.
Mm.
Yeah, she was really sweet. I think she was from Philippines.
Yeah.
I really miss her. I still think about her sometimes.
Yeah.
She taught me how to read. She helped me a lot, and she's like one of the reasons that I learned like everything.
Mm.
That time.
And then like the whole transformation was cool from Ugandan curriculum to CB what?
CBSE.
CBSE, you know, because I think before after the Ugandan curriculum you went through a British also,
Yes.
because Dubai was British, you know. So the whole transformation, it made you like, it was so hard and hectic for you.
It was let's say overwhelming.
Mm.
Because Ugandan curriculum, it's really easy.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I think Ugandan curriculum, anyone can learn it if they like. Yeah, it's
And you know what they said
yeah.
in Luganda? Say Bonaba Some. Means everyone should go to school.
Yes.
I tell you something. So when I left Kenya I did until P8. When I came to Uganda, I was literally one of the best students because of that. Like everything is a repetition.
Yes, I think Uganda, it's really good.
Mm.
It's fast learning.
Mm.
Like let's say you learn this in this grade, and then boom, you're learning a whole nother thing. But us, we take it really easy, right?
Mm.
In British curriculum, it was also really nice.
Mm.
It's kind of like Ugandan, but just like a little bit.
Polished.
Yes, and then CBSE, CBSE, I would consider it like the best because you're actually like you're learning, and then they teach you the same thing. In grade 3, we were learning about solid, liquids, and gas. Grade 4, we learned the same thing, but more like we went into it more.
Advanced,
next year, we're learning the same thing, more advanced, and it takes you slow while you're also learning new chapters, new things. But everything is getting advanced, and everything is getting a tad bit harder. But you know, if you really put your mind to it, if you really study, you get it in a few.
Yeah.
It's really good, by the way.
Okay. And then navigation of friends. How is your friendship life like? Like I don't understand how many times you have told me about your friends.
Some of my friends, they're nice. Most of them are nice. Actually, I've got new friends in 5th grade, and they're like super sweet. But let's go to like 3rd grade, and 3rd grade was like the first time, and I was so happy, ecstatic. I'm a really like outgoing person, so I talk to anyone near me. So I saw this black girl, and I was like, oh my god, someone black, and I sat next to her. Like I ran to that seat.
That was Neriha.
Neria, yes. Yeah. She's Ugandan, and we used to like talk in Luganda sometimes. She's the reason I learned a little bit how
Of
to speak.
Luganda.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
she was like, how come you're Ugandan but you don't know how to speak it?
Shout out to Neriha. Though she's so distant, I don't understand.
Distant because 4th grade we
You
had
changed the classes.
yeah, we got
Is she
scrambled.
back in 6F now?
Yes, she's in 6F.
Oh, nice.
Naria, Minatula, Ariana, and Phoebian, we're all in the same class.
I'm so sure there's no studying in that class. Woodland Park, Ajman, 6th grade F. Miss, take care of the girls. They're all in the same class. Yes?
Oh, the teachers are really tough. Trust me, if they hear you just talk a little bit in class, they're like, okay, Feiza, stand up, sit there. For my period, you'll not sit with them again. And then the class teacher finds out, and she's like, okay, guys, we're going to scramble everyone.
Nice. So it was easy for you to navigate friendship and
Yes,
everything.
of course.
But the first times when you came in the UA, you didn't want to have like you didn't want to stay here.
Yes, because everything was foreign to me. Like, I was really not used to this way of living. Like, let's say like you're going. I was always used to like having like
A
all the
lot of people
attention.
around.
Everyone is around. Everybody knows me. I know everybody, but like when I came here to like the big city and everything, I was
You
like,
have to stay indoors, you
yeah,
know.
I'm like, oh, why can't
No
I go
friends.
outside? I don't have anyone to talk to.
Mm.
Yes, and when we went to Sahara Fight, I'm telling you, I was like, you know, a Karen, right? A
Yeah.
Karen is someone that is like, she like, let's say, like you do something tiny and she gets angry at it.
Yes.
So there was this girl and this boy playing outside, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go. I'm so bored. I'm just gonna go shout at them. So I went outside, and they were like, oh my god, hi, do you want to be my friend? And that was the day I met my best friend, Mariam. Oh, she's the best person ever. I love her so much. Like we've grown so close that even like me coming into her house and talking to her and playing PS5 with her is like the most normal thing. We can literally just be in the same place. We're not even talking to each other. We're just there together. That's the most of it, you know. We're always playing, and I would always ask you, Mom, can I go play with Mariam?
Yeah.
Even when we shifted to another building, I would always like ask you to go there. Yeah, we had a little bit of fights.
Of course.
But we're always friends, like forever and ever.
Yeah. Like I feel like after some time you got used to the UAE and everything was so easy for you. And then now you grew up, you know, at 9 years things were so different, you know. Every time I would say I really would love to see that phase of 4, 5, 6. That's just so sweet, amazing. And then there is this phase now, like so grown, like go wash utensils, the whole transformation into a preteen was so hard for me, as a mother, and it started making me to start, be scared. But at the same time, I would like to ask you a question, Feiza. How do you handle being a child of Ashley?
Oh, wait. The first thing you have to know, everybody that's black, Nigerian, Cameroon, and Ugandan, almost all of them know me. Remember, we went to the field trip. Half of the water park members knew me, and there was this they all knew me, and even they reached out to you after, and they were like, I saw her at the water park. She was on a field trip, and they were like, you're Ashley's daughter, because I was talking to all of them. I was saying hi, and then I came across a few black ones, and they're like, you're Ashley's daughter, you're Feiza, and I'm like, yeah. And my friends were like, Feiza, come already.
So at first, when you were around 9, I felt like fame was gonna disturb you. At a point in life, I felt like it was overtaking you, and with the whole social media drama. I mean, I'm a business person, and our business is so hectic. You've seen me. You know my intentions. You know what I do and what I don't do. As my daughter, I have witnessed this. People, when they're cursing me, they would say bad words to you, and everything. And for me, it's okay because I know what I do and you know what I do. But I want to ask you, first of all, do you check social media sometimes?
Yeah, you have to keep up with the trends, man.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, low-key.
Low-key.
I go ahead, I check social media, I talk to my friends, and then scroll a little bit. That's it,
So if there is a social media drama and you hear Ashley quality, what comes into your mind?
I just laugh because I know that these people won't ever be able to understand the struggles of what actual people go through, because they only know how to shout on social media because they obviously want attention and clout. But the real truth is, behind the cameras and behind the luxurious life and everything, it's all about just it's all about taking care of the customers and everything. Just sometimes we can have misunderstandings or miscommunication.
Yeah.
And people jump to the fact that, oh, you're a scammer, without actually thinking, let me just look at it from this person's perspective, She's a businesswoman and she has many things to handle. So maybe I should just give her time and calm down, right? some people look at it like that, but most of them, they jump to social media because it's their let's say it's their police,
Exactly.
it's their court,
Mm.
obviously. But
So I'm so sure there are times you've seen me so down, like maybe I'm so stressed and everything. What are your mechanism to either ignore or make me calm?
I would always make you calm.
Mm.
Obviously, I would always say, like, it's okay. Like, they're just jealous of you. Like, you shouldn't mind them, because in, like, the real, like, perspective of life, they just care about shouting on social media.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They just they have a job and everything, but in their free time they choose to, like, go online.
Yeah.
So, like, I think everybody should have, like, principles, because I don't think it's, like, the best thing to go on social media. I think it's either you talk to the person personally or you just handle it in, like, court.
Yeah. Feiza, what is your best day of life? Like, what so far? Like, which one has been the best day of your life?
The best day of my life. Would you get angry if it wasn't?
No.
My best day, it was definitely the day I met you, obviously. But, like, the day that, it was the day that, like, we went on the field trip, because it was really, it was like a fever dream. Like, everybody's shouting in the bus, everybody's playing music. Like, some people brought, like, a speaker, and we were playing music and everything. And we were all talking to each other. We had the ninth graders in our bus, and ninth graders were talking, we were playing games and everything. The bus ride there was amazing. And then when we actually got to the park, we were all having fun and we were all eating. They gave us free food, and we were walking around, we were playing in the slides. My friends were pushing me into the water. They literally carried me and threw me into the water. It was so fun, actually.
That's nice, fantastic. We're looking forward to more field trips for you, so you can be happy. So another thing, Feiza, what would you like to when you grow up?
I am not sure of that yet, but the main things I have in my head is, like, either become a surgeon, a nurse, or a vet. I really, like, I don't know, but I've always, like, dreamed of helping someone in the, because I'm a really big fan of science, and I love
You're a
science.
fan of science.
Like, I'll tell you, my best subject is even biology right now.
It was my best subject, girl. I loved biology. In fact, the biology teacher used to be my friend. Shout out to Madam Sarah. I don't know if she's still alive, but
There's
from
no way.
Smile Girls High
There's
School.
no way. My biology teacher was my class teacher last night, and last year. She was my science teacher, and we were always talking.
So Madam Sarah was my best teacher in high school, and she also loved me so much. I used to pass biology. I was a very good. I was so good at biology too. I was also good at English, and I'm so sure you're good at English. For some reason, I feel you're very good at everything I was good at. I feel like your brains are my brains, but only that I'm a little bit extra.
Of course.
So, like, and then I also used to love Islam. Used to be one of the best subject. History, I was one of the best also.
Yes, like, I'll tell you this, I might get a B, C, but trust me, when it comes to history,
It's an A.
it's an A. When
I
it
tell
comes
you a
to
story,
biology,
girl,
A.
about my teacher who came out in class and said, "Hello, where is Hadija?" He's like, "Wonderful, 100 out of 100." That was history. We used to do this history. It's called History 3, Paper 3. Was amazing. I was one of the best students in history.
Just like as soon as we get the term to like things, you're just gonna know that in history, which is SST here, you're just gonna know that most of the things I've passed.
But there's something else you have that I don't have. You do fine art. Your dad was a fine artist.
Yes, I do it a lot, but nowadays I've stopped art block and everything. So
I feel like he was also like that. You and your dad have almost the same character. You guys are calm, and most of the time you do not finish things. that is you and your father. Like you leave things on the way. And that's one thing I want to remove from you currently. Like me, I'm a go-getter. I gotta get it. Either no or no.
But literally all the time, I work super hard to like get the things I want as well. So
That's
I
nice.
always try like all the time, even when I feel like I don't want to do this, but
I think it's because of my effort, because I push you, I over push you things. So, Faiza, so far, how is your experience in the UAE, and what would you actually tell a young lady out there seated watching you, probably in the United Arab Emirates or Uganda,
my experience in the UAE has been really good. Like honestly, it was hard to adjust, but once you really like start letting yourself go and seeing everything from a good perspective, like hey, I'm not really like in the place I was more comfortable in, but at least now I'm exploring new things, right?
Yeah. Do you also would love to ask me anything?
Yes, I would. I would want to ask, how was your upbringing? Since I know you were mostly you were mostly based in Kenya and Uganda.
Oh my God. If I start talking about my upbringing, I will take the whole day, but I'm gonna kind of beat it. So it happens that I was born by an Arab mother. Now this is one fact that people would never believe.
I know, right?
Yes, so my mother was an Arab. Um, the father of my mother was an Arab from Yemen, and the mother was half an Arab from Yemen and half Somali. So I was born, okay, in Busia district, in Busia. And at the age of only, I think, 5 months, I was taken away by my, I don't want to call her grandmother, but she is she is an auntie to my grandmother. So this lady's name was called Atouye Mahfoud, and she is typically an Arab from Yemen. She played a big part of my life. So Atouye Mahfoud was living in Mombasa, Kenya. My grandmother was called Hadija Mbarak Mahfoud, and that's where my name Hadija comes through. So Hadija Mbarak Mahfoud, and the lady who raised me is called Atouye Mahfoud. Okay, so the name Mahfoud. So this lady is an auntie to my grandma. Is the one who raised me, because at that moment my grandmother had already died. My grandmother died when giving birth to my last auntie, Aunt Samira, who lives in Mombasa. We went there, remember? Yeah. So I lived in Mombasa in Kenya in a small suburb called Kidimo. I stayed there. I grew up from there until I think I was in class 6. And then eventually my grandmother died. That lady I called my grandmother died, and I used to call her Hababa. Hababa is an Arabic word meaning grandma. So my upbringing was a mixture of feelings and a lot of a bit of trauma too, here and there. The auntie to my grandma was a wonderful human being. She was so rich. She had raised a lot of kids, although she never gave birth to any child. My upbringing in Kidimo was one of the best because it was a village. I knew how to dig. I'd do plantation rice. We used to have big plantations of rice, sugar. Shout out to Kidimo. If anyone is watching me from Kidimo in Mombasa, Kenya, I love you guys. You're the best. I studied from there, and my nursery school, I studied under a tree. It's so funny. And then I also studied in Mombasa town. There's a school called Kuba Academy. And then after that, shortly I came to my mom. So I grew up with my mom, after that. My upbringing with my mom was a little bit tough because I was new to her, new culture, new adjustment, new languages. I didn't know Luganda, so things were so a bit, but my upbringing all the way was happy, amazing, traumatic, and then cool. Mixture.
Mixture.
Yeah. My mother died though later on, and then I was brought up by my auntie,
Yeah, so
who was a little bit tough, but she's an amazing person. I mean, if it's not because of her, probably I wouldn't go to school because their husband educated me. Yeah. Tell me, what else?
one of like the biggest question I actually never asked this question, and I don't believe I know the story. How did you meet my father?
Hassan Nzimbe, a young man by that time who was at the University of Makerere doing a bachelor degree in, is it art and design? Yes. Very handsome. Very, very handsome.
Funny thing, he still looks the same.
He is still the same.
He hasn't
never
aged a
grows
day.
a day. He never grows a day. I met him through a wrong phone call. Yes.
How does that even happen?
So it happens. He was calling somebody else, but then he got me online. And then he kept flying me. He actually, someone had used my phone, so he was returning the call.
Oh.
Yeah, and that person was someone I knew. So as you know, then he tells me, "No, I'm a cousin of yours from Zambia." So I initially I had cousins from Zambia, so I thought like he meant that, but he was lying literally.
Why would he lie?
I don't know. And then we had our first date. There's a place in town. It's called Pioneer Mall. So there was a restaurant up there. I met him. Immediately I saw him. I knew this was my first boyfriend in life. He is so calm, and with my character of being tough, and you know what? He was just like cool. He's the first person I went on a date with. And he was so amazing, We spoke and spoke and spoke. Yeah, that's how we met. And one of the biggest things I can tell you about your father, and I will never despise that, is the fact that he was my first friend. He's the first person that ever believed in me in life. Although he broke me so much. Yeah, but again, he was like a father figure I never had, At that moment, I was struggling not to believe that my mother is dead. I was a young girl who needed a lot of direction, It was just a hard time, but he was there in each and every stage of my life. We have our own issues here and there, but one thing has never changed: the genuine love that we shared together. That was like, me and him are just like friends that were made from heaven. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I only stayed his friend, Yeah, so that's how I met him.
Oh, that's a really cute story. Actually, I think it's like really funny that he called you and he said, "I'm your cousin."
He
from
was
Zambia."
returning a call from a friend. A friend of mine had used his phone. Although the friend later on, I think the friend wanted to date him.
Oh.
Yeah, but he says no, they weren't doing anything. Yeah, but I was just a victim. I don't know anything about them. But the friend was my friend. We were together in school and everything. Yeah, she was an amazing girl at school. Yeah, but that's the story.
That's a really cute story. I really love it.
Another question?
Yeah, sure. I want to ask you, right? One of the biggest questions I want to ask you. Gosh, how do I phrase this? Like, what's like the hardest thing you had to pass through in your life?
Ooh. The hardest thing I had to pass through in my life is the death of my mother. Until today, 21st September, and still rocks. Like it keeps ringing in my head. I remember the day I was at school. I studied at Smile Girls High School. I was in senior three, and that was so tragic. So the headmaster calls me and tells me you're supposed to go back home. And then we move. I had a cousin in school. She was called Safia. So we move up to the bus station, and boom, we are on our way. But inside the taxi, I was seated with someone who I had speaking on phone. And in her conversation, I had her talking about my mom. I immediately knew that my mom was gone. Although me and my mother never had that close ties, because like I told you, I met her when I was already like 13 years old. But I knew she was the only person who was supposed to be there for my upbringing. My mother my mother wanted me to become a journalist, by the way. I never told you that.
Oh.
I would read her stories, I would write her poems. I wrote a Swahili book then, though I never published it.
Wow.
My mother would listen to all my, storytelling. I used to be, you think you talk? I talk. I used to talk, girl. So when I reached in Busia, I saw a lot of people. Like, it's one day I can never forget. And then I had one of my aunties, she's called Aunt Huda. She said, Hadija, my name, yeah? I'm so sorry for your loss. And we used to have another grandfather, he's called Nasir. He also died. He was my mom's best friend. But he was a grandfather. Like I told you, we have a Somali linkage. You remember Asma, the one I told you she's my best friend? The one I told you I used to say that she's your mother, like your second mother, because she was there when I was giving birth to you. So Babu Nasir is actually related to Asma. So everybody was crying. It was a terrifying moment, I saw Mamito crying. Safa never knew what was going on. She's a little sweetheart at 5 years old. That day, my life stopped for a second. And until today, every time I go through something, I still blame that I wish my mom was here. Because I feel like when you have a mother, you have a support system. That was the worst day of my life. And when I was in senior 4, I used to do Kiswahili. Mm-hmm. I wrote a composition. It was about the worst day of your life. And I wrote about my mother's story. My composition was brought back in Smile Girls High School as a proof for being the best student in Swahili in the whole of Uganda. Mm-hmm. Yes, because I had studied Swahili in Kenya, so what do you expect? Yeah, so my Swahili was so good. And that will never get out of my head. Like, it is the worst day of my life.
Yes.
But here we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I had ever gotten the chance to meet my grandmother, I would have given her a tight hug, because I know how let's say Arab mothers or
grandmothers.
Yes, grandmothers.
She would love you so much. Me and my mother would make fun. I would tell her, like, you know what, she would tell me, you know what, when you grow up, make a lot of money, have kids, give them to me, I will bring them up. So
I would have loved.
Because when I was young, I never used to like kids, My mate used to love kids, my sister, and then my mom was like, don't worry, don't be scared to have kids. Have kids and you give them to me. So she told me, you would have 6 kids. Our family is very small. But here we are today. Yeah, so I feel like, and the trauma of my mother has followed me in everything I do, even having kids. Like, I'm so scared to have kids because I'm like, man, this woman left us 4. You know, you get my point.
Yeah.
Like, we are 4, and then you get my point.
Pressure.
Yeah, the whole thing. You're like, so I feel like I want to give my child the best. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm so scared. Like, what if I'm dead and then I have like 4? Who's gonna look at them?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It can get really, let's say, pressuring. It can, because like that's like PTSD, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
an event happens and then you're thinking, oh my god, it's gonna happen again.
You know. Yeah, so that's it. But yeah, that was my worst day.
Oh. Now, what's your best day in your life?
My best day in my life is when I first carried you. I was so scared to have kids. And then when you came, like, I remember when I was pregnant, I had a friend of mine called Mariam. So I told Mariam, I'm pregnant. Mariam was like, oh my God, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know. She's like, you're going to keep it. Shout out to Mariam. She's in Netherlands now. She's still amazing. She's so sweet. And then Asma, my cousin, who happens to be my best friend, she told me, girl, we're keeping it. She's going to be the best child ever. So we had to do so. And the pain of you not wanting to come out was so annoying. Like,
Tell
God.
me the story.
Yeah, so like when I just carried you like this, I was so happy, I was so excited,
Forgot all about the pain.
Yeah, all the pain, and then the love that came with it. My cousins, my friends. We had a group in Uganda called the Pretty Mamas. My friend Zaina. Shout out to Zaina. Zaina used to love you so much. She's my friend from school. So amazing. And then Uncle Issa. Yeah. He was so excited to see you. He gave me money. He bought you like a baby bed. It was so amazing. And since then, God opened the doors. Immediately you were in the stomach, your dad got a job to Dubai.
Oh my God.
Those are the blessings that came along with you.
And that's lucky girl syndrome.
Yeah. Curse breaker. Yeah. Otherwise, Feiza, it was so nice to have you on my podcast, the UAE Snap. It is Let's Speak It Out. It is a platform like I want to hear people speak out about their life, about how they feel, how is their mental health, and something like that.
Yes, of course. I'm really happy to be here as well. It was such a good time talking to you. It felt like we were just together.
Yeah, exactly, as usual. Forever.